has like a 29% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about why I disagree with that. But before we get started, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button so you can get notifications. Hey guys, it's Quana and I'm back again with another review, and I'm here today to talk about Netflix's newest film drop called Otherhood, starring Angela Bassett, Felicity Huffman, and Patricia Arquette. So let's get started. All right, so this film dropped on Friday, August the 2nd. It is currently Monday, August the 5th. Hope you had a great weekend. So did I. All right, and it is a film that the initial premise that I got from it was these three moms who were kind of going through it because they were no longer a significant part of their children's lives. We're going to go off into the world and experience life after being a mother. So life as an other. That is the premise that I got when I saw this movie promoted. Now, let me just say this. I saw the movie, I cannot talk today. I saw the movie promoted through Netflix's What to Watch in August drop starring Marlon Wayans, where he kind of talked about all of the things coming out in August. I did not see an individualized trailer for this. And that's the first problem that this movie has. This movie is starring the Angela Bassett. Forget Felicity Huffman, and I like Patricia Arquette, but the Angela Bassett. I'm gonna say that one more time. The playing Tina Turner, the black iconess herself, Queen Mother of Wakanda, Angela Bassett. So this movie should have gotten way more promo before now. Now the elephant in the room is the whole Felicity Huffman college scandal thing. But let's just face it, like Felicity Huffman, she in the movie, but she ain't all that in the movie. I mean, she alright. And I think they could have done the Ava DuVernay thing of saying, hey, listen, she was in the movie. Yeah, she had a great contribution, but her mistakes as a private citizen have no bearing on the rest of the wonderful actors and creators who were involved in this project, including the Angela Bassett, and just let it go. Because it's Angela Bassett. I'm going to tell you what, we love us some Angela Bassett, Queen Mother of Wakanda forever. You know, so I think they could have done more to push this movie. But I thought we were getting like a Thelma Louise, How Stella Got Her Groove Back movie. And what we ended up with was more very light on that. And so these moms go into the city and they're going to kind of confront their children and reinsert themselves in their children's lives. That is the premise of the movie. Now, the movie has a 29% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and I don't think it's deserving of that low of a rating. People were really slamming it as like, we've seen this before, but I felt like they didn't have any, very trifling, nasty, potty jokes. It was very classy, very tasteful. It was cute. It was extremely cute movie. And I don't think we've seen this movie or this theme from like this perspective in a while. And the closest thing that I can think of to this movie is like First Wives Club, but that deals more with like how the women overcome their marriages, not really how they overcome being a mom. So I feel like we haven't seen this movie in a while. Now, if you're not sure if you should watch this movie, but I'm going to give you some movies that are similar to it, and that might help you. So if you can think of movies like First Wives Club, The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, How to Make an American Quilt, Waiting to Exhale, but without black people. I don't know what, Thelma and Louise, kind of, without the action. That it's kind of in there, in that pocket. So if you like those types of movies, you will enjoy this movie. And I think definitely it should have gotten way higher. I think it should have at least been like in the 40s or 50s. Maybe when more critics review it, maybe a lot of people just opted not to review it, and now that they've had a chance over the weekend, maybe the score will go up a little bit. But I don't think it was as bad as a 29. So if you're using Rotten Tomatoes aggregator as like your understanding of whether you should watch this movie, I would maybe go a little easy on that, because I think that they kind of got it wrong here in this instance. So that's my hot take. I actually would give it, probably out of like a 5-star rating, I would give this a good solid 3.5. 4. I didn't hate it. I didn't want to gouge my eyes out, and I didn't feel like I wasted my time. Again, Angela Bassett. I'm going to be saying Angela Bassett throughout the rest of this movie. The rest of this video. So that ends my non-spoiler review. That ends my non-spoilery review. But continue watching if you want to hear my thoughts about the movie a little bit more and the actual plot line. Until next time. Okay, so we're back, and here is my more detailed review of Other, the new Netflix movie starring Angela Bassett, Felicity Huffman, and Patricia Arquette, which I have to use my fingers to count or I might forget their names. So, overall, like I said before, I thought the movie was a lot better than the 29% rating that it received on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like this movie would have been really great had it done a Mother's Day drop in the theaters, but alas, since it didn't, it has a good place on Netflix. I just wish they would have promoted it more, because hello, Angela Bassett. I can't say Angela Bassett. I can't say Angela Bassett enough. She is the Queen Mother of Wakanda, one of the biggest movies ever. She's a phenomenal actress. Hype the mess out of this movie, Netflix. Do better. Netflix, just do better. Okay, so anyhow, like I said, the movie is about this woman named Carol, Angela Bassett, and she's a Susie homemaker type, and her husband's dead, and her son is a horrible son who never comes to see her and forgets Mother's Day and doesn't send her flowers, even though he's living like a fairly wealthy lifestyle in New York City. And he is in New York with his 2 childhood friends, Paul and Joel, and they're all kind of living their best life, which is kind of weird that they are from the same small town and they ended up in the same big city together. But, alas, whatever, what do I know? That happens in some people's lives. And their moms all hang out with Carol on Mother's Day, and their moms are Helen, played by Felicity Huffman, and Jillian, played by Patricia Arquette. And so in the midst of getting drunk and talking about how horrible their sons are, the fact that they forget Mother's Day and they don't know them anymore and they don't know what's going on in their lives, they decide to take a Thelma and Louise style road trip that we only get to see 2 minutes of, and that would have been kind of nice seeing them like fumble along like some gas stations along the way and like being like, oh hey, what's this? And then it being like something clever. I don't know. I don't write jokes. You guys, but you picture where I'm going with this, right? And then they get to New York. And then they infiltrate their sons' lives, which is what happens in the movie. And then they realize that they can't infiltrate their sons' lives because their sons really don't want them, and they keep messing their lives up, and they really don't know their sons. And so Carol, who is the only brave one in the group, decides that she's going to infiltrate a party her son is having. So she gets all dolled up, lets go of the bad wig that they had her in, lets her curly hair fly free, puts on this dress that got the tatas showing, looking good because she is Angela Bassett. I can't say it enough. And she goes to the party, and she has a couple of drinks, and she loosens up, and she remembers that she used to dance, and so she's down there and she get her dance on. And then suddenly this girl comes up to her. I can't remember her name, but I've seen her in some other stuff, and she's sorry, I'm trying to check because for some reason my video and my volume stuff keeps losing synchronization. So anyhow, this girl comes up to her, and I'm getting all kinds of, oh yeah, you're a cougar and I like you kind of vibes. But instead it's more like a, hey girlfriend, let's get together, let me help you out type of thing. And she realizes that her son doesn't deserve her. She goes and has a good time, and then eventually this secret comes out that all of the husbands cheated together this one weekend while they were fishing, and she decides to be pissed off at her girlfriends for keeping it a secret. And so she goes home, throws out her husband's stuff, and then goes off into the sunset, and apparently goes to Italy and has good food and probably had some good times, and learns to paint and comes back, and everyone's waiting for her to come back. And the big reveal in the movie is we're not sure if she's going to come back, and then she gets out of the car and everybody celebrates. Now, other stuff happened with the other two women, but let me just say their storylines are not as interesting. Well, Felicity Huffman's storyline was somewhat interesting because her son, who is gay, didn't want to tell her that he was gay, but she knew he was gay. And he told his dad, who was apparently the more uptight one out of the two of them, that he was gay because, get it, he has a bad relationship with his mom because she was emotionally unavailable for him after the tragedy of her divorce. But somehow he was able to reconcile himself to the relationship with his dad and be close with the dad. You see what I'm saying? Blaming the mom for the divorce when the dad cheated doesn't make sense. And then he tells her that he is a sperm donor and he's donated some sperm to two friends and they have a baby, which makes her a grandmother, but she's not a grandmother because he's not a dad because it's not his baby, even though it biologically is. And so she goes and hunts down the baby and buys presents for the baby and goes and meets the mom, one of the moms, and has a granddaughter. And then Jillian's storyline is that she's going to repair her son's relationship. So after failing to hook him up with a nice Jewish girl, realizes she helped contribute to his failing relationship with his girlfriend. And so she reunites them, kinda, sorta, and then they get back together. Jillian and Helen don't really have any evolutionary experience in the way that Carol does. And this is where I do think most critics, while not explicitly stating that, why they were giving it low ratings. I think that if you're going to give it a low rating, which I still feel like it was enjoyable enough to have been in the high 40s or 50s, you have to ding it on the fact that this is 4 movies in one. One movie about these 3 women who kind of have this Thelma and Louise, how Stella got her groove back experience, and realize that their lives should not end because the part of rearing their children has come to an end, right? Then you have all of the separate storylines that each could have been their own movie, like Jillian and her son, Helen and her son, Paul, and then the whole Carol and Matt situation. I personally, if you're going to call it Otherhood, I would have much had rather seen the story of these 3 women who just feel like, yeah, motherhood is done now. What do we do with ourselves? And go get their best lives. Also, I feel like the ploy of making all of the men cheat together, I just, yeah, no, that cheapened it for me. Because why couldn't it have been that Carol's husband was just a good husband and he died and she just didn't know how to get over the fact that he died, for her to throw out his stuff? Like, I didn't need a reenactment of Waiting to Exhale in this particular movie. So I kind of feel like that cheapened it. That cheapened her awakening for me, because there's just a whole conversation around the awakening that should take place when that one phase of your life is over. And I feel like this kind of made it a little bit more like First Wives Club, which I love. I love me some First Wives Club. Comment if you love First Wives Club. But I feel like I didn't need that from this movie. So I really would have just rather seen these 3 women like getting their best life. Like, you know, if Carol want to find out that she's bi and flirt with the girl, let her flirt with the girl. If she want to go grab a young cat, she's Angela Bassett. She could definitely pull a 30, 40-year-old dude because she's Angela Bassett. Let her pull a 30, 40-year-old dude and have like a little one night whatever or fling or whatnot. Like, let's see that movie. Let's see the movie where Helen realizes she's been obsessing about her divorced husband, but she's got this other husband who really loves her, and let's see a little bit more of that. And then let's see, okay, pause. I really could have done without Patricia Arquette's character. I can't talk today. Without Patricia Arquette's character. And I love me some Patricia Arquette, but yeah, her character was just too frumpy and it just didn't work in the confines of the film. Now, if her husband was gone or something, or get rid of the husband. Come to the realization you need to get rid of the husband. Yes, that's, can I rewrite this movie? That's what it should have been. Carol getting over her husband, who was a good man and died, but now she needs to let go. Helen, who needs to get over her ex, realize the man she has is a good man and love him. Jillian, who realizes the man that she stayed with, that he's still a dog. She shouldn't have maybe stayed with him. And her son would actually respect her for leaving. And so he leaves. She leaves him and gets her best life. That should have been the movie. Can we write that movie? Can we make that the movie? So yeah, so that was the only issue with the movie. But I still think it was a decent movie. I still think it was enjoyable. And like I said, Angela Bassett. Now, there was a whole thing with Felicity Huffman and the college scandal. And like I said, I do think that they just used that and because of that, scaled back the promotion of this movie. But take the Ava DuVernay route. Say, hey, Felicity contributed to the movie in her acting chops and her producerial role. However, she would not want her independent actions as a private citizen to deter from what the makers of this movie put into it. End of story. End of question. Now ask Angela Bassett why she continues to snatch our wigs and glow the way that she does. Case closed, period. All right, so that's it for this one, guys. Hope you watch the movie, enjoy the movie. Please comment down below. Let me know which mom is your mom more like. My mom is like not like any of these moms. If my mom would be Carol and Jillian got together and had a baby, and then that would be kind of my mom, because she's a little bit of both. But which mom is your mom? Which mom would you want to be your mom? And until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and come back for more. See you later. Toodles.